Melissa, and today I'm going to try and teach you how to identify, treat, and prevent scaly leg mites in chickens. So the first thing that you need to know are what are scaly leg mites. So they are little parasitic bugs that get into your chicken's feet scales, and they lay eggs in it, and it makes the scales of the chicken leg rise up.
This is an example of scaly leg mites in chickens. As you can see, the scales are lifted and there is some minor swelling and irritation of the skin. Leaving the legs untreated may cause some unsightly bumps as seen, or if left untreated for a longer amount of time, it could lead to lameness in the chicken, meaning that they will not be able to walk. This is an example of gout in chickens. Gout is often misdiagnosed as scaly leg mites, and scaly leg mites are often misdiagnosed as gout. The difference here is that the scales are not nearly as raised as the previous image, and the swelling is much more pronounced in gout than in scaly leg mites. Chickens can get scaly leg mites from native birds. Particularly in my area, they are contracted typically through sparrows or starlings, which are pest-carrying birds. But they also can come from many songbirds or any really native bird that is around in the area. Additionally, chickens can get it from their roosts. Since some coops are not completely bird-proof, from native birds that is, these native birds can go inside your coop and walk on the wood. Wood is very porous, and what happens is the eggs of the scaly leg mites fall and go inside of the wood of the roosts, and when your chickens go to sleep and sit on these roosts, that enables the eggs to then interact with your chicken's foot and then give them scaly leg mites. Okay, so here you can see a very normal chicken leg, and you can see that her scales are pretty close together. There's no raising or bumps of any sort. This is just a normal, healthy chicken foot. The first method is the Vaseline method, which is the least effective method in my experience. You take the Vaseline and you coat the chicken's feet. You apply it every day for as long as it takes for the scales of the chicken to be completely healed. It works by the Vaseline smothering and suffocating the mites and the eggs inside of the chicken scales. The second and most effective method in my experience is the linseed oil and kerosene method. This is done by taking 1 part kerosene and 3 parts linseed oil and mixing it together in a bucket. The kerosene acts as a disinfectant, while the linseed oil is very thick and coats the chicken's scales, which will suffocate and kill the mites and the eggs. With this method, the amount of times that you treat the bird will be dependent on the severity of the case. For severe cases, you will apply the concoction every 3 days until the scales fall off. For less severe cases, you will do it about once a week, and again until the scales fall off. It's important to note that the scales of the chicken may never return back to completely normal, especially in severe cases. It is best to apply the treatment at night when the chicken is really sleepy, so that way there's less hassle and it's a lot less traumatic for the bird and for you.
This is the container that we use to put our linseed oil and kerosene mixture into. You want to make sure that it is covered and that there isn't any flammable materials inside or around the container. So it's best to keep it away from those sort of things. It produces heat when it dries, so it's nothing too serious, but if you do have a rag or something near it, that can combust and that can cause a coop fire. So it's something you want to keep in mind, so make sure it is away from wooden materials, any fabrics, or any other combustible materials. So we keep it in this plastic bucket. It's really dirty because we haven't had to use it for a while. But yes, this will perfectly work. Any other plastic bin that you have, or even metal, would be great. Just keep it in a nice cool place so it doesn't combust. We have our friend Elma here to help us demonstrate. Now her legs are perfectly fine. She does not have scaly leg mites, but we're going to use some water to demonstrate how you want to saturate the feet. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you hold the wings very firmly, but make sure that you're underneath the crop of the chicken so you don't upset them. But you're going to hold them kind of tight like this, and they are going to struggle because they don't like what's going on. And you're going to gently dip their feet into the solution, and you just need to make sure that you swirl the chicken's feet around, make sure that the feet are completely coated in the solution. Now with water it's a little bit different. The solution will be a little bit thicker. But then after that, you kind of take the chicken out of it, and then you put them back in the coop. This is our other friend. Her name is Blanche, and she previously had scaly leg mites. So this is what her scales look like now after treatment. She had a really severe case, and as you'll see with the treatment, you can't necessarily expect the scales to ever go back to normal. The way that you can prevent this is by putting up things that scare the birds away. So this can be anything that's holographic or really shiny. You can have hawk decoys or owl decoys, but make sure that you change them every couple of days, the position of them, for it to actually be as effective as possible. Another thing that you can do is on the roost of your chicken coop, you can put down that linseed kerosene concoction on the roost probably like about once a month. That helps seals in and prevents them to burrow in, like I mentioned in treatment. So it will help prevent that from carrying on from the roosts onto the chicken's feet as well. Okay guys, well I hope that helped you. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and thank you for watching.